thing as we get set for a real quick 2-game series up here in Toronto. The high-powered Blue Jays offense. Phillies are going to hopefully try to calm that offense down. You see the bullpen for the Phils, the guys that are in the bullpen heading out to take their seats. Ken Giles is second to Jake Diekman as he walks out. And everybody's probably has seen all the reports. Jim Salisbury mentioned on the pregame show from csnphilly.com that there may be a deal for Jonathan Papelbon. We have not received anything official. Once we do, we will let you know. If we do, we will let you know. He is not here in Toronto, though. He does have a locker all set up. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Cesar Hernandez leads it off at second base. Ben Revere bats second. Maikel Franco will hit third, followed by Jeff Francoeur and Ryan Howard. Darren Rupp's at first base. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom third of Asheem Blanco and Cameron Rupp. Howard, of course, the DH in today's ball game, and they will face 27-year-old left-hander Felix Dubron. Matt, there was one point in Dubron's career where everybody thought he was going to be with the Red Sox as a high-powered left-hander for a long time, but then he hit a huge roadblock and has never been the same.
Well, he did. He hit a big speed bump. Unfortunately, it was a very big speed bump. And when he was with the Red Sox, he was a guy who had a very good fastball, and he could get his off-speed over for strikes. But that's the problem right now is you can't get him over. As you can see, the Budweiser scouting report, 4-pitch pitcher. His average fastball is 146.13 kilometers an hour, which is equal to 90.8 miles an hour. He's better control with his fastball, better control with his cutter, but it's his changeup and his curveball he's having a hard time throwing strikes for.
All right, so are we changing the numbers for this 2-game series? Do I have to?
No, you're okay.
Okay. Let's take a look at the Nissan keys to the game for today.
Well, key number one for me is Morgan has to move the Jays' feet. If he doesn't move their feet, these guys are going to look out over the plate, look for that changeup, and they're going to drive the ball out of the ballpark. Because we saw what they did last year versus the Phillies, hitting 11 home runs in 4 games. And key number two is the Phillies hitters ready for a mistake. Felix Dubron has a hard time, like I said, throwing the curveball and the changeover. Fastball, the league's hitting 375, and the league's hitting 455 versus his cutter.
There's John Gibbons, DeMarlo Hale as bench coach. John Gibbons in his second go-around as the manager of the Blue Jays. All right, we're ready to go. Pete Macadam, 11-15, is the skipper of the Philadelphia Phillies. Cesar Hernandez is about to lead things off. Cesar, 274, 1 home run, 23 runs batted in. He had 5 hits and 16 at-bats in the Cubs series. And against left-handers, he has been leading off the majority of the time, at least over the last several weeks. And the first pitch of the day is in there for a strike, so we're underway. Cesar's hit in 3 straight games. They'll be followed by Ben Revere and Maikel Franco. Chopper back toward the middle. And Goins, the shortstop, will make the play. He will not be out at shortstop tomorrow. Troy Tulowitzki will be there. Sort of mixed emotions for a lot of the Blue Jays players today because Jose Reyes, and I've known Jose for a long time. He is a wonderful kid. But Jose Reyes is going to be missed in that clubhouse. They really liked him as a person, even though he was, not playing all that well.
Well, I mean,
or up to his standards, I should say.
Right, and what he does, though, he brings a lot of energy. He puts a smile on everyone's face. Encarnacion said it's his best friend. He's going to miss him. But it's baseball.
Here's Ben Revere, who takes inside. 2 balls, no strikes. In fact, Jose Bautista had a press conference today. There had to be 25 members of the media who were around him, and he was talking about going to Reyes' house last night and just getting him settled. He reminded Jose that he's been through that a few times, just as Jose has. They do like the fact they got LaTroy Hawkins, though, in the deal as well. That one's grounded toward first, knocked down by Encarnacion, and he's able to get to the bag. Boy, he was really hugging the line, too.
Yeah, he was. He didn't have to go very far to his left. But nice play, getting there, and wasn't very far from first base either. Good reaction. Good swing by Ben. Hasn't played in the last couple of days. Nice to see hitting the ball hard, having his timing down.
So after Encarnacion makes that play, Maikel Franco will be the batter. Franco had 4 hits in the series against the Cubs. Blasted a home run. He had 4 extra base hits. Outside 2-0.
I think everybody in the lineup had 4 extra base hits.
Yeah, we showed you that graphic during the outset of the telecast. 21 extra base hits for the Phillies. 13 doubles, 4 triples, and 4 home runs. Good luck in McDonald's. Phillies home run jackpot contestant is James Titus of Nazareth. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Big James will win $100. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he got him. Russell Martin will flip over to first, and a strikeout for Dubron, who works a 1-2-3 first inning. So Adam Morgan will go to work when we return to Toronto for the bottom of the first. Look at his lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Travis, Donaldson, and Bautista, followed by Encarnacion, Calabello, and Russell Martin. Danny Valencia starts in left field. He'll bat 7th. Kevin Pillar, the center fielder, bats 8th. And batting 9th is Ryan Goins. And they will face left-hander Adam Morgan, 1-2 on the year, an ERA of a little over 4. And 18 strikeouts and 27 1/3. He has allowed 5 home runs. All 5 home runs, Matt, have come against right-handers. And he's going to have to really bear down against this right-handed hitting lineup.
Well, he is. He's going to have to mix in his fastball and his changeup a lot throughout the game. And like we talked about, throw fastballs inside. You know, the one thing I like about, though, with the scouting report, you see right there with Budweiser, he's been averaging 88.8 miles an hour on his fastball. He'll throw in between 87 and 91. And his changeup has been very good at 174, the league's hitting against, and his slider at 233.
Well, if he can just figure out that fastball. Here is Devin Travis, 302 hitter. First pitch is high. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Travis hitting 292 since the All-Star game, and he, like a lot of other right-handed hitters in the Blue Jays lineup, very good against lefty. Oh boy. 1-0 Toronto here in the bottom of the first. Eighth home run of the year for Travis. Home run number 131 as a team for the Blue Jays.
Well, these guys have a lot of confidence when they're facing left-hander, and you got a leadoff hitter hitting one out of the ballpark, second pitch of the game. So,
well, now Josh Donaldson, who truly is a home run hitter, 9 home runs against left-handed pitching, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. That's a pretty good swing by Travis, too. Second career leadoff home run for him. This guy was launching them during batting practice today.
You know, and it's not that they hit a lot of home runs versus left-handers. That was the 30th home run this year. But they're hitting like 294 against left-handers.
Out front, and it's 1-2.
You know, coming in today's game, hitting 290. You know, now a leadoff home run. But that last pitch is what he's going to have to lock in, the changeup low and away. And that's why it's so important. I'm telling you right now, Toronto does not like to be pitched inside and hard inside, which moves their feet. Here comes a hard fastball right here.
You just got to make sure you get it inside.
Yeah, it's a purpose pitch. You can back it. You can double up in there. You can double up in for strikes. You can double up in there for balls, and then go ahead and throw a changeup away.
Three balls, two strikes. That one just missed, ball 4. So Donaldson draws a walk. Jose Bautista's coming up, and Murph, Jose Bautista has been one of the big problems for the Phils to deal with when it comes to the Blue Jays.
They've certainly had a lot of problems dealing with the Blue Jays, and that's the subject of our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact tonight. Take a look. The Phillies have lost each of their last 8 games to Toronto, which is the second longest losing streak to Toronto in franchise history. It's also the second longest active streak for the Phils against any major league opponent. They've lost 9 straight to the LA Angels. So certainly Toronto has had Philadelphia's number over the last couple of seasons.
It's remarkable too, because you kind of forget about that when you don't see a team that often in a season. The Phillies face them maybe once or twice a year, but the numbers, as Matt pointed out, even last year, 11 home runs they hit last year, and those home and home series, the 2 here and the 2 down in Philadelphia. Bautista chops one to short. This should be 2. Long toss by Blanco, but he had plenty of time. So a 6-4-3 double play, and there are 2 outs. All right, so 2 outs. I think he needs to get through that for his first inning. There's nothing that phases this kid.
No.
He is such a good guy to have from a demeanor standpoint.
Right. No, I agree 100%. And he had Bautista out in front of a fastball.
Encarnacion hitting .234 with 19 home runs. Delivers one at the knees, 0-1.
I think with this whole Blue Jays team, you could play all 3 infielders on the left side and have 1 guy on the right side. The way they hit against left-handers, the way they look for certain pitches.
Well, that's been the alignment with Donaldson, Bautista, and now Encarnacion.
The thing about Toronto's hitters is this is what their game plan is. Their first time through, they'll sit on a changeup, they'll sit on a slider, they will take fastballs right down the middle. And you think, okay, now they're setting you up for another fastball, and they're sitting on an off-speed pitch. That's their thought process when it comes to hitting.
Ground ball foul, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays come into this game 7 games back in the American League East. The Yankees are starting to pull away. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the home plate umpire. And the side is retired. But a home run by Devin Travis starts the game for the Blue Jays. They'll take a 1-0 lead as we move to the top of the 2nd here in Toronto. On Thursday, but Friday kicks off Toyota Alumni Weekend. 7:05 on Friday is Pat Burrell's induction into the Phillies Wall of Fame. It all wraps up on Sunday at 1:35. The Wall of Fame Fathead, free to all fans. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Here's Jeff Francoeur to face Dubron. Francoeur's 0 for 5 against Felix. Had a fastball 0-1. 265, 9 home runs, 33 runs batted in. And he lines that one at second base. Devin Travis just leans a little bit to make the catch, one away. Well, we mentioned Ryan Howard going the opposite way in Chicago a couple times. He was bringing the lumber. Brought to you by Yellowwood, brand pressure treated pine.
Well, he's been swinging the bat very well, and what I like seeing him get his foot down early, letting the ball get deep, falling all the way in the point of contact, and hitting the ball to left center where his power is.
Yeah, he now has 18 home runs, 53 runs batted in, thanks to the 2 he hit. One ball, no strikes to Howard. Fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Plate umpire is Rob Drake. He did some house cleaning before the game and made a mess out of the batter's box. DJ Rayburn's at first base. There's Cowboy Joe West. Joe is reaching a milestone here tonight. Joe is umpiring in his 4,769th game, and they made a mention of it before the ball game today. It's the 3rd most in baseball history. The leader of the pack is Bill Clem, who umpired from 05 to 41. And then Bruce Fremming, 5,163 is number 2. 2 away.
It's a lot of games.
How would you describe Joe? There's a word I'm looking for.
Grumpy.
Is he grumpy?
He can be.
I think his ability behind the plate's very good.
Oh, I think he's a very good umpire.
All right, so grumpy. That wasn't what I was looking for. 1 ball, no strikes. And Ruff pops it foul. It's 1-1. He seems to.
Moody?
No, that's not what I was looking for.
Second, let me Google. What is Tom looking for?
I don't want to say magnetic, although he does sometimes have issues following him on the field. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. 2 balls and 1 strike to Ruff. Misunderstood? No, that's not what I was looking for. That one's pulled toward third, a foul ball, and it's 2-2 to Ruff.
That's the pitch right there that you have to lay off. That curveball. 2 strikes. He wants to bounce it. Franco swung at it 2-2 early in the game.
Two-out walk. Yeah, that was the pitch that helped Dubron win 11 games in back-to-back years with the Red Sox. In fact, he became the youngest, he became the second youngest to win 10 games in back-to-back season for the Boston Red Sox. The other one was Roger Clemens. How about that? The history of the Red Sox. In the dirt, Martin keeps it in front. Ruff's trying to get to second, and he is out. What a play. Not only by Martin to stay with it, but for Goins to be able to field it and then spin around. Now they are going to take a look at it underneath. But to see him spin around after grabbing that throw by Martin, well, you can take a look at it. It looks like Darren Ruff is indeed out. The glove got to the foot just as the foot neared the bag. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. Phillies trail the Blue Jays 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. On the Comcast network. Well, David is extremely talented, and here's the mural that they're going to be talking about. In fact, the Phillies are going to give out that mural, the final Citizens Bank Business Person Special on the next homestand against the Dodgers. Calabello chops the ball foul. It's 0-1. Well, this kid has been an unbelievable story for the Blue Jays.
That he has. 318, 9 home runs and 38 RBIs. But look at the numbers he has at home.
Yeah, he's cooled off too since the All-Star break. Began his career with the Minnesota Twins. Twins signed him as a free agent. He was in the Independent League, in the Can-Am League. He played for a Division II college program. Blue Jays claimed him off waivers this past December. He was actually designated for assignment in February. He hadn't even played a game for the Jays, but then found his way back on the 40-man roster. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Calabello. He'll be followed by Russell Martin and Danny Valencia. Fouls it away again over the Phillies dugout. Today's ball game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. Ball's in the dirt, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's one thing about the Blue Jays is that they walk a lot. They're a patient hitter, but they foul off a lot of good pitches. So they make you work. They get in the, their motto is try to get in the bullpen the 5th inning, especially the first game of the series.
Fly ball right field, playable for Jeff Francoeur. And one away. See Francoeur wandering around on that artificial turf that's out there. This is a new surface from the last time that we were here. It is so soft. I don't think I've ever, and Matt, you played on a ton of artificial turf, including here. I don't think I've ever walked on a surface that is this soft that wasn't grass.
Yeah, it's a lot different than the way it used to be, that's for sure. You know, with the artificial turf, and then all of a sudden they had the fake grass. It wasn't as thick, but this stuff here, you know, one, it's going to be easier on your back and a lot easier on your knees, that's for sure.
Well, once the ball hits it, it dies.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not normally the case with artificial turf. Russell Martin, the hitter, 14 home runs, 47 runs batted in. Got a big free agent contract this past offseason. They will eventually put natural grass in Rogers Center once the Argonauts, one of Matt's football teams, leaves Toronto, or leaves this facility and goes to the soccer facility just up the road. One-two pitch. Outside with a breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
I don't think with the way the turf is now, it doesn't affect the Blue Jays the way they hit. And these guys hit a lot of doubles, a lot of home runs. They're not built for speed.
Built for comfort.
Yes.
Well, I think everybody was wondering with Tulowitzki coming, he's had so many leg injuries and hip injuries, if this surface would bother him. And they said, well, A, it's soft, and B, they're going to move it to natural grass in a couple of years. There's a line drive into right field. Russell Martin's aboard. A one-out single. Second hit for the Blue Jays. During the 2015 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Here's Danny Valencia. Oof. Shallow left field. Ashe does not see it. He has no idea where it is. It's going to drop. All right, give me a scouting report, Matt, on how hard it is to pick up a fly ball like that.
This time of day, I never thought it was, to tell you the truth. The one thing about this ballpark is that every ball that's hit does go through lights. So it'll go through the rafters, but you know, you can see right here, he lost it right off contact. He had no idea where it was.
Yeah, Andres Blanco started sprinting out, but he was too far. Revere was too far.
Usually you have a harder time a little later in the night, but unless he lost it going through the lights and through the roof, well, there's no roof.
84 degrees, slight breeze. Here's Kevin Pillar, a magician with the glove. 272 hitter, 7 home runs, 37 runs batted in.
I wasn't sure. I didn't think they were allowed to wear the white sleeve anymore in the outfield or as a hitter.
The compression sleeve that he has on?
Yeah, because it's supposed to do something with when you dive for a baseball. Now, I guess nowadays, since they have instant replay, but they banned it for a while, having a wristband and the sleeve.
Yeah, normally you have to wear, let's say, in this case, the royal blue.
Right.
That's a ooh. Well, ball 4. I think everybody was in agreement that was a strike, except for the home plate umpire Rob Drake. Yeah. Millar thought it was a strike. Rupp thought it was a strike.
And the booth up in Concave, strike. Comcast Sportsman thought it was a strike, didn't you, Tom?
I really did think it was a strike. Maybe it was low. I don't know. It didn't look low, though. It looked low when he caught it. Well, here's Goins hitting .223, 2 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Phillies play the infield at double play depth.
Amazing how you go from a routine fly ball to left field for 2 outs. Now to your bases loaded, 1 out. Bad fielding as an outfielder.
I was going to say it has to be.
There's nothing you can do. If you don't see it, you do not see it.
Outside and low, 2 balls, 1 strike. That breaking ball he's having a tough time commanding it right now. Out toward left field. Ashe going back on it and makes the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Martin. It's 2-0 Toronto. Sac fly for Goins. So a run in each inning so far, and now Devin Travis will be the hitter. Getting congratulated for getting that run home. One ball, 1 strike.
Need to get that fastball down the zone. He's been up in the zone a little bit with fastball. Take a couple miles off. Get some sink to it.
Oh, he's ahead now. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Travis. Travis homered on the second pitch of the game. His first time up. Just a bit outside. It's 2-2.
You said second pitch of the game. He gets a fastball up in the zone. It actually was ball 2, but he does a nice job tucking his hands in and hitting up the back of the bullpen wall.
Swing and a miss. He got it with a high fastball. Side is retired. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 men left for the Blue Jays. We've played 2. Phil's down by 2. We'll send Cody Ashe to the plate. Devin Travis and Ryan Goins signaled to the athletic trainer to come out, and he's headed into the clubhouse. Now this is a predicament for the Blue Jays because they only have 3 bench players because Tulowitzki won't arrive until later tonight or tomorrow. So what they're going to have to do, I think, is move Donaldson over to shortstop. I guess Goins can play. Goins could stay at shortstop. No, they're going to move Goins over to second base. Donaldson started to go to shortstop, and Valencia was going to come in to play third. Well, we'll just wait and see what the Blue Jays decide.
No, Valencia's going to short.
Yeah, they can't bring Kyle Bello out because they'll lose the DH. Yeah. All right, so Valencia, who can play third, he was a third baseman with the Twins, will play second base. So they'll keep Donaldson at third and Goins at shortstop. It was interesting, Matt. I don't know if he did something on a swing. I don't know if he came down with a migraine or what.
Well, he takes a big hack, and you can see him kind of whimper a little bit right there with his shoulder. Better be careful with throwing that helmet down.
Yeah, we saw last night. It was a player that did that, hit the umpire. Yeah, Mike Napoli. So Ezekiel Carrera will come on to play left field. The former Philly. Boy, he's going to have to do some. Well, it's an American League game, so it doesn't bother him that much. But he's only got 2 bench players now if anybody else gets hurt. Devin Travis was on the disabled list with a collarbone injury. He was hitting .354 since coming off the DL. Wonder if he aggravated that. Cody Ashley takes inside. It's 1-0. Check swing. It's going to be a tough play. Valencia tested right away. He can't hang on. A base hit for Cody Ashley. And the first hit of the night for the Phillies. Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Matt, who was the MVP of the '93 World Series between the Phillies and the Blue Jays? Answer will be revealed a little later on. Matt is currently looking at the Ring of Honor for some hints, or I guess the level of excellence, as it's called. Andres Blanco loses his hat. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I've seen that more this year with hitters losing their helmets than I have in the past. For some reason, the helmets just don't fit their cabeças anymore.
His teammates enjoyed it. Before Odubel got his haircut, his helmet was flying off all the time. Freddie's falls off from time to time. That is a foul ball. Andres Blanco is looking at the dugout. I don't think that reached the outfield. Well, Pete's coming out. It has to get beyond the white line.
He says you can challenge it if you want.
It must have gone past the white line. I couldn't tell. Well, they're not going to challenge it. Take a look.
Well, hitters always think everything is fair. He had a great view of it. Tom, I'm like you. I thought that ball was hit on the ground.
Well, I couldn't tell where it landed, like where.
Yeah. I thought it hit in front of the bag.
DJ Rayburn's still looking back at it because there's probably a mark where it hit and knocked some of those pellets up in the air. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, nobody out. Phil's down 2-0. That one's back toward us. And it hit the brick right above us. It's too low.
Tom, I hate to tell you that, but if that made it into the booth,
yeah,
someone was going to wear it in the lip.
No. There's ball 4. Blanco draws a walk. Second walk issued by Dubron.
The reason why it was going to kick off the table.
I think somebody would have caught it. To be honest with you, Murph, somebody would have caught that, don't you think?
I was expecting you two to catch it. Let's make an effort up there. It was right above your heads.
I stood.
Well, I'm glad you guys are safe and sound. And, you know, I think you two would agree that over the past week and a half since the All-Star break, it's been a little bit more enjoyable.
Well, Murph, we've lost you, but we're going to tell everybody what you were just about to talk about as Cameron Rupp fouls it down the right field line, and it's out of play. The numbers are staggeringly good for the Phillies since the All-Star break. Prior to the break, 26 wins, or 29 wins, I should say, 246 team batting average, averaging 3.4 runs per game. But the pitching numbers, coupled with the increased offense, have really been what has led the Phillies to the 8 wins in 9 games. The ball's in 1 strike to Rupp, and he chops it toward the hole at shortstop. Donaldson cuts it off, and they turn 2. So a runner at third with 2 men down. A 5-4-3 double play. Well, Murph got his toolbox out. He has fixed whatever his issue is.
Murph, did anyone tell you you're not allowed to bring an American microphone into Canada?
Oh, is that what it was the problem? You know, I leave you guys for a minute and you allow a double play to happen like that. How's that?
Whoa.
You're the one who left us.
Well, that's true. I did leave you. Well done with that board, Tom, by the way, for laying out those numbers.
Yeah, thanks.
The story was that the Phils have been playing some pretty good baseball over the last 9 games, and hopefully it continues up here north of the border.
That's all you got?
That's all I got at this point because you did everything else. I have a new battery, too.
1 ball, no strikes to Cesar Hernandez. And that's at the knees, 1-1. Cesar grounded to shortstop his first time up. First base umpire says he went around.
Well, and we're talking about the graph, and honestly, it's the starting pitchers that are going deeper. Now, all of a sudden, the guys in the bullpen, the ERA of 1.53. Now they're getting in a routine of knowing when they're coming in to pitch. It's all about comfort in baseball.
Chopper back toward the middle. Valencia looks at Goins. Goins picks it, throws in time. That's a heck of a play. Side is retired, no runs. 1 hit, 1 man left over at third, middle of the 3rd inning. The Blue Jays 2, Phillies nothing. wrong when you buy right and buy Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. This ballpark opened in 1989. And obviously it was a house of horrors for the Phils in '93 when the Jays won the World Championship. But when it first opened, I mean, it was one of a kind, really. Retractable roof and everything about it. A massive, massive building. The hotel out in the outfield. A lot of folks are sitting watching the game right now out in that hotel. There are a number of Phillies fans. You can see by the banners and the jerseys that are hung up in the hotel rooms. Pretty cool. Here is Josh Donaldson to lead off the bottom of the third against Adam Morgan. Adam delivers low, and it's 1-0. Front of that one, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. I think a lot of people were surprised when the A's made Josh Donaldson available this past off season. Fouls it away. Brett Lawrie went to the A's. Donaldson came here. He was a big reason why Oakland went to the postseason last year. But man, did they gut their clubhouse after that season?
Unbelievable.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And he lines it foul.
One thing about Donaldson's swing, he has that big leg kick, but he kind of holds it for a second. Then he recognizes the pitch. Gets his foot down a little quicker on a fastball, and is being able to keep that leg up a little longer on an off-speed pitch, which keeps him back in the zone.
They got out front of that. Maikel Franco, the third baseman, down the line. And 1 away. Hey, there's a lot of moving parts to it. When he struggles, he must be all out of sync.
When he struggles, it's going to be a guy who does a slide step where he can't get his leg up in time to do a leg kick.
No, he's a good pickup.
Another leg kick guy coming in.
Jose Bautista, 234 hitter coming in with 21 home runs, headed to a double play his first time up. And he lays off. It's a 1 ball, no strikes. He had a .400 on base percentage last year. That's playable. Franco down the left field line. Blanco's there as well. Here comes Ashe, and he makes the call on the catch. 2 outs. Follow the Phillies wherever you are with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment. With in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. Here's Encarnacion, who struck out his first time up. A breaking ball low, 1 ball, no strikes.
I would say that Encarnacion is a fan of interleague play. Since 2012, 20 home runs he's hit.
He lines that one out toward the alley in left center field, and I don't think Ashe saw that one either. Not that he would have caught it, because it was kind of in no man's land, but he started back and then came running in. But it'll be a base hit for Encarnacion. I think because it was hit so softly, it just fooled the outfielders.
Yeah, it takes a big hack, and he hits it off the end of the bat. You know, your first move, you see the big swing right here. You know, a lot of have tendency. Even Ben went back on the play. Cody stumbled a couple of times. Big bounce, but luckily Cody actually got a little bit of leaping experience.
I wonder where he gets that leaping experience. Fly ball right field. No problems for Jeff Francoeur to get under it. And a nice job by Adam Morgan. He allows one hit. That's it here in the third. Well, Phillies fans are here in numbers. In fact, they've been able to find every hotel room they can. Match quality, and their Jet Intelligent Toner cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who but WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB on HP. All right, Matt, this is what you've been talking about the lights and the glare.
Well, it is, and this is straightaway center, of course, but the thing about playing left field here at this time of night is, one, you got to put up with the light tower. All right. Also, you see the glare coming down as well. So every ball that's hit, and it happens in right field, every ball that's hit to a left fielder or right fielder, it eventually has to go through those lights, and it's hard to pick up at times.
Well, that's part of what Cody Ashley's been going through. He's obviously never played left field here. He played third base last year. Ben Revere leads it off. Revere hit a one-hopper over to first that was smothered by Encarnacion. Hits it back toward the middle. Goins is there. Man's made every play so far. One away. And here's Michael. Dubrat was originally signed by the Red Sox in 2005 out of Venezuela. Then he went to the Cubs. The Cubs released him this past spring at the end of spring training. The Blue Jays signed him to a minor league deal on the 2nd of April. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the Phillies are being like they were in Chicago, very aggressive. You know, for a guy on the mound, Felix throws a little over 16 pitches per inning.
Well, that one right there, he painted right on the inside part of the plate.
And we're in the top of the fourth, and that's his 45th pitch with 2 outs.
Well, third strikeout for DeBron. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag #PhillyPhotoDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. All right, now Jeff Francoeur. Two and 0. Ground ball toward the hole, and Goins can't get to that one. Finally got it past that guy. A base hit for Francoeur. And Ryan Howard's coming up.
Kind of surprised that Goins didn't make that play. Made a very nice pick earlier at second base. Nice play versus Caesar earlier as well. So he's been showing a lot of range at shortstop.
He's going to go over to the hole at second base, and Valencia is going to come up toward the second base bag on that shift. You don't often see that. You don't often see the shortstop move over to that spot in the infield. Howard takes strike one, 0-1.
Well, the way they have the shift now, you have 2 guys out of position. Instead of leaving Goins at short. That's a
boy, that was awfully close to a balk. But they've got Frenchie, and he's going to be tagged out. And the side is retired. Phillies do get a base hit. It's just the second one of the day. They don't leave anybody, and we will leave for the bottom of the fourth here in Toronto. Today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Buy Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. And buy Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. Well, beautiful night here in Toronto. The Blue Jays lead at 2-0, bottom of the fourth inning. Jeff Francoeur was just picked off for the first time this year, Matt, to end the inning.
But unfortunately, I think it came on a balk. You know, you're supposed to have a 45-degree angle. That is not a 45-degree angle towards first base.
I think we both felt that when we saw it. It just didn't look right. As Martin fouls that one.
That was more like 72.5.
Surprised the first base umpire didn't see it. Center field, Ben Revere got turned around on the run, reaches up, it's off his glove. Russell Martin's on his way to second. He'll stop there. That'll be a double. So he has a single and a double in today's ball game. 18th double of the year.
Heel the glove.
He had it.
He did. You know, as an outfielder, you're taught when a line drive's hit at you, you go the direction that's easiest for you to open up. He opens up to his left side, did a nice job recovering. Ball hit him off the heel of the glove.
Yeah, catchable ball, there's no doubt about it, but it does go down as a double, and for the Blue Jays, their 5th hit. Danny Valencia singled his only time up.
One thing about Morgan, though, he throws the pitch, he's right back on that rubber, ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Revere gets another chance. Martin tags from second, and he'll be able to get there. Last part of the homestand for the Phils coming up will feature the Los Angeles Dodgers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Series wraps up with the Citizens Bank Pride of the Phillies print featuring the Phillies mural, which we showed you before. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Pilar walked his first time up. Infield is now in. On the outside corner. Popped him up. Darren Ruff, foul territory, will have room. That was a good pitch.
Yeah, it was. Fastball inside, tied him up. Change up first pitch. Comes back with a fastball inside. Tied him up. Got a weak fly ball to first base.
Well, that'll bring Goins up. He had a sac fly his only time up. A liner out to left field. It's a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. He offered at it. He tried to drag a bunt. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. If he had gotten a piece of it, he may have beaten that out easily if it got to the area he wanted. Morgan kind of falls off to the third base side, so that area is wide open.
He's trying to do a drag bunt just to land just in between first and second.
2-2. Breaking ball outside. Fly ball left field. And Cody's got a good track on this one. He waits for it. And the side is retired. So another scoreless inning for Adam Morgan. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left over at third. And we will now move to the top of the 5th.
Well, Tom and Matt, it is now official. The Phillies have announced that they have traded Jonathan Papelbon along with some cash considerations to the Washington Nationals for Nick Pivetta. He's a 22-year-old right-handed pitcher. There you see his numbers in 18 games, 17 starts, 7-6 with an ERA just over 3 in Single-A and Double-A. With the Nationals, he was the 4th overall pick, or the 4th round pick for the Washington Nationals in 2013. And, of course, Jonathan Papelbon leaves the Phillies as the all-time saves leader in franchise history. We expected this to happen, most of the afternoon, but it has now become official. So Jonathan Papelbon era in Philadelphia is now over, guys.
And as you mentioned, he leaves as the all-time saves leader in Phillies history. And one thing about Pap is that he did the job. He may have spouted off occasionally when he probably shouldn't have, but he did do the job.
That he did.
It's amazing to me that the Nationals will move Drew Storen into the setup role for a second time in his career.
Mm-hmm. Look at that swing and bunt.
Look at that. Ryan Howard's going to have himself a base hit as long as that ball didn't hit him. A check swing, contact. They can review it to see if it hit him before it went up the third base line. That hit his leg?
I can't tell if it hit his foot.
Sure didn't look like it from here.
It didn't or did?
Did not, no.
Our replay looked like it. I wonder if this is reviewable. Okay, he just said if you think it hit it in the leg, then challenge it.
This will give the perfect view right here. It did
right
off the leg.
Right above the knee. I am shocked that they're not going to challenge this. Wow.
Now, if he goes back into the dugout, he can't come back out, can he?
Well, Darren Ruff's going to go in is going to go into the box. Martin's going to go out and talk to Dubront. They're not looking at it. Usually somebody's on the phone, but they're not looking at it. I'm surprised that they're not reviewing this.
You know, Tom, if Dubront would have fielded that ball, he probably would have thrown Ryan Howard out. He just kind of let it roll.
Are you guys? You guys surprised that they're not reviewing this?
Well, it's the same thing we saw with the guy in Chicago who swung and missed at his knee.
Yeah.
Dead ball.
Yeah. Darren Ruff takes a strike. It's 0-1. Well, getting back to the Papelbon trade, it's not a surprise to us he wasn't here today. Right. You know, he was coming in with the off day yesterday. He was coming in on his own, and he just stayed back home knowing that this deal was going to get done at some point today. But he did do the job. Now, the Phillies get the 10th best prospect in the national system currently, a hard-throwing right-hander, 6'4" kid. But it amazes me that Storn will be moved to the setup role again for the second time in his career to allow a veteran to come in and be the closer. He did the job this year too. Storn did.
Yep, he did.
Well, it just didn't work out for the Phillies and Jonathan Papelbon, but he did become the all-time saves leader. Out toward right center field. Bautista's on the run. He's not going to get it. It's going to be a hop over the wall. A ground rule double, and the Phils will have runners on second and third. Eight doubles now for Darren Ruff.
Well, Tom, we talked about in Chicago taking advantage of some breaks. Well, we get a break with the Ryan Howard base it off his leg. Now Darren does a nice job of coming up and staying on the curveball. Nice short swing and driving it to right center. That was a swing he had the whole day in BP today. Gap to gap.
Well, they're going to give the Phils a run here with an out. As long as the ball goes toward the middle, the corners will cut Ryan Howard off. Cody Ashe did have an infield hit his first time up. Takes a curveball, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. By the way, Murph, would you say that Papelbon was some of your more challenging interviews over the years?
Well, I learned to really enjoy interviewing Jonathan Papelbon. I would say early on he was a challenge, which I think is exactly what he wanted. But we figured it out, the two of us, by the end there.
Yeah, we've always told people that we don't advocate what he said publicly about wanting to get out of here. But for us, he was always good to deal with.
For the most part.
For the most part. Once Cinco Ocho left.
Once he stopped staring right through me, then it was fine.
There's a liner out toward right field. Bautista's going back, and it is over his head off the base of the wall. 2 runs will score. Ashe's going to get to second, and the Phillies have tied this ball game up. It's another extra base hit. It's a 2-2 game here in the top of the 5th. I couldn't tell whether Bautista was going to grab that or not, the way when it left the bat. Well, another good swing by Cody Ashe. He's had a few of them on this road trip.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good things when you do a job. You want to get your foot down early and make sure you hit the ball to right field. And unlike you, he kind of paused a little bit in right field. Bautista, I thought he had a chance to catch it. But look, foot down early, head down, knowing that he has to hit the ball to second base because you want to get him over, get him in. Well, he's got a bonus out of it. He got 2 RBIs. Now he's in scoring position.
Yeah, so the Phils have tied this game up.
I mean, that was a very nice swing.
Ryan Tepera's in the bullpen. Yeah, it was a great swing.
And it was a fastball that was elevated a little bit. And I think we talked about it probably, 2 weeks ago, about him starting to use that top hand a little bit more.
Well, and again, it goes back to the way this inning started with Ryan Howard, that they did not challenge the ball off his leg. Blanco fouls it over Murph's head. It's 0-1. Breaking ball, 1 strike.
It's amazing how the game changes when you come up and play the American League teams. Usually you're playing in a National League situation. You're going to bunt here. Not in the American League East.
Yeah, this American League East, which is led by the Yankees, the Blue Jays and everybody else have kind of pulled back. Blue Jays are 5-5 in the last 10, 8-12 in their last 20, and 13-17 in the last 30, while the Yankees are well above 500 during that stretch. Off the glove of Russell Martin. He has 16 pass balls, and there have been 34 wild pitches. A lot of that's because of R.A. Dickey. And they've scored that a wild pitch.
He set up inside. It's a two-seamer. He's trying to catch it instead of blocking it. He tried to pick it and went off his glove.
Ground ball foul, and it's 3-2. Martin was kind of talking to himself as he went back about what you were saying, Matt, that he tried to backhand it out of the dirt instead of dropping down and smothering it. Line drive, fair, down the left field line. The Phillies will take the lead. It'll be another extra base hit as Blanco's on his way to second. Carrera will get the throw in. The Phillies have 4 straight hits in this inning, and 3 of those hits are doubles. All 3 in a row. And here comes John Gibbons, and that is going to be it for Dubron. Now the Phils have gotten into the Blue Jays bullpen. They've used the same formula that was successful for them in the weekend series against the Cubs. They lead it 3-2. And we've got a pitching change here in Toronto. Phillies lead it 3-2. They've scored all 3 in this inning. We'll be back with the new pitcher right after this. Quiz answer. All right, Matt, who was the MVP of the '93 World Series between the Phillies and the Blue Jays?
Well, he is not up on the level of excellence.
He's not.
No, but he should be in Minnesota, though, because Paul Molitor is the answer.
Paul Molitor should be in Minnesota. He should be in Milwaukee also. Current manager of the Minnesota Twins, doing a heck of a job in his first year as a skipper. He finished his career with 3,319 hits. But in that World Series against the Phillies, he hit 500 with 2 home runs. He was 12 for 24.
He DH'd and played first base.
Well, here's Ryan Tepera, 0-1 with a 2.38 ERA. The Phils lead it 3-2. First pitch is outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Ryan Tepera, a very good fastball, 94, 96. Cut fastball, 91. Changeup and a slider. Slider has a hard break. It's 84 to 87. So
kind of like a slurve almost.
Yeah, not a lot of difference between miles an hour in his cutter and his slider.
That one's out towards center field. Playable for Pilar. Blanco is tagging, and he draws the throw. Not the guy you want to run against. He has 9 outfield assists. One away here in the 5th. Phillies fans, did you know StubHub app is personalized just for you? Get the StubHub app today. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Phillies.com. Cesar Hernandez 0 for 2. He's grounded out to short twice. Low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. To the right side, and it's flagged down by Valencia. And he throws out Hernandez. Josh Donaldson's heading to the dugout. He forgot the outs. Over to third base goes Blanco. Inside. I mean, he was steadfast in thinking that this was the last. That was the last out. Revere takes in again. 2 balls, no strikes. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, we've got another no-hitter update. In fact, Noah Syndergaard is perfect through 5. We should get that sponsored. Seems like we have a no-hitter update almost every night.
It's unbelievable.
This game's easy, Matt. Two balls, 1 strike. Ground ball, second base. And that'll do it for the Phils here in the 5th. However, it was a productive 5th inning. They got 3 straight doubles, including 1 by Andres Blanco. They take the lead. Middle of the 5th, Phillies 3, Blue Jays 2. to you by Citizens Bank. The Phillies Junior RBI League has been teaching kids how to play the game since 1989. Donate a baseball glove or two to the next generation of baseball greats at the Citizens Bank kiosk at Citizens Bank Park. At Citizens Bank, we want to help you bank better. So the next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. Bottom of the 5th inning. Phillies 3, Blue Jays 2. Ezekiel Carrera will lead it off. Carrera came on when Devin Travis left the game with irritation in his left shoulder. Hitting .257. Takes strike 1. Franco is in on the turf at 3rd. Back toward the middle. Cesar Hernandez has to hurry and does.
Oh, nice strong throw.
Josh Donaldson's coming up. Let's check in with Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, as promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Today's photo comes from @JackieMC1. And she's saying, thanks, Chase, for helping make their special announcement. Jackie expecting a new Phillies fan in January. Chase Utley was there to hold up the sign. We ask you to tweet your strongest fan photo to #PhillyPhoto DataStrongFan. And you just may see your photo in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. Yes.
She also had the Fanatic at her wedding.
Oh, really?
Yep. I saw a picture of that last year.
Were you at the wedding?
No, but they asked us to go.
Oh. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did we get them anything?
Chase Utley picture.
That's right.
Jackie must know some people or something.
That's a great idea to get that message across. Phillies PR representative Chris Ware just came into the booth and dropped off the press release announcing the Papelbon trade. Over to left side. Franco cuts off Blanco and throws out Donaldson. And there are 2 outs.
Well, which is the right play right there. I mean, they're both playing, you know, Whitey's playing back farther. Franco's playing quite a ways back as they're having a little bit of fun. But the way.
Tell him, you see how far I ran?
I think if White tries to make that play, his momentum's going away from first.
And now Morgan has to step off because the 2 of them are still talking. Bautista's 0 for 2. Whitey will ride those young guys with the best of them.
I mean, this is a good play. I mean, he cuts him off, as you should. He's calling it the whole way, and Whitey's all ready to field it. And for the next 30 seconds, they're having the discussion.
Back to the screen, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's still talking. I'll teach you to play with my hair, is what he's saying. Out to left center field, playable for Ben Revere. He says he has it. Boy, what a nice shutdown inning for Adam Morgan. He's retired 6 straight. He's allowed 2 hits in the last 3 innings. And the Phillies have a 1-run lead as we go to the 6th. recorded the 13th no-hitter in franchise history. The 31-year-old left-hander hadn't won a game since May 23rd, and when he finally did, he did so in historic fashion. Cole posted 13 strikeouts over 129 pitches and became the first pitcher since Sandy Koufax's perfect game in 1965 to no-hit the Cubs. 8 outs came by flyouts, including the final out of the game that landed in Herrera's glove and landed Hamels into baseball history again. They call him Hollywood. He was the star, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, there's Cole on the heels of his no-hitter. His next start has been pushed back for the Phillies because of the pending trade deadline. And whether he's here or not when we get home to take on the Atlanta Braves still remains to be seen. Phillies have already traded one piece. Jonathan Papelbon, of course, traded just a half hour ago to the Washington Nationals for a young right-handed pitcher, Nick Pivetta. So Pap is on his way to D.C. LaTroy Hawkins, who just arrived from Colorado in the trade that sent Jose Reyes and 3 prospects to the Rockies for Hawkins. And Troy Tulowitzki gets into his first game with the Jays, 2-1, a 3.63 ERA with Colorado, facing Maikel Franco. Franco hits it to third. Donaldson has it. One of the things the Blue Jays said they've been trying to do over the last year is to really improve the atmosphere in their clubhouse, bring in guys that are not only good on the field but also off the field. Well, they probably got one of the premium guys in that category in LaTroy Hawkins.
Well, I think it's safe to say that he's played with more guys in the big leagues than I have. He's been around. He's a very good team leader. Happy-go-lucky guy. He still has a very good arm. He'll max out about 93 miles an hour. Good slider, good split.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The general manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, Alex Apostoteris. Chopper over to third, picked up by Donaldson. Nice strong arm. Francoeur is retired. Anthopoulos. I know I butchered it. He said today that they felt like they became a better team today by picking up Troy Tulowitzki and LaTroy Hawkins. He said this was just a good old-fashioned baseball trade where he felt like both teams got better, but that his team became a better team with the acquisition. He said nothing against Jose Reyes. He said Troy Tulowitzki just quite frankly is better than Jose Reyes.
Well, and Jose Reyes, he struggled of late playing defense. I mean, you got a guy, and Tom, you mentioned earlier, if Tulo can stay healthy, he's going to put up some great numbers. I just think it's if you're going to put him in a 2 or 3 hole, it just makes the team so much better because they're now all of a sudden having 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to have a 3, 4, 5 guy.
Yeah. So will he bat 2? You think?
I mean, why wouldn't he? I mean, it'd be a good spot for him.
Some folks say they think he'll bat 5th, but I think he's a better 2-hole hitter. Get more fastballs.
Right. I mean, he can hit 2, 5. It doesn't matter. He's going to hit. You know, now they're so right-handed dominant, though.
1 ball, 1 strike to Howard, who had an infield hit his first time up. One, two, three, 6th inning for LaTroy Hawkins, getting his feet wet here in Toronto. Out of the bullpen, Phillies go down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Phils maintaining a 1-run lead. Entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By the Pennsylvania Lottery, benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Now the Phillies lead at 3-2. Well, this is the time of the year that you are probably more familiar with than most people, leading up to the trade deadline.
Yes, and it's actually a fun time. I mean, it really is.
If you look at it, I mean, if you do look at it that way, I mean, for some guys, they're going to a contender. That's the fun part.
Right. Some people are picking up 40, 50 games in for the season. So.
Encarnacion rips one down the left field line. That'll hook foul. It's 0-1. Is it nerve-wracking to a certain extent?
I don't think so. For a veteran guy, no. I mean, it's like for Reyes. He probably had a lot of emotional because he had a lot of friends here in Toronto.
Well, and the Rockies obviously are nowhere near the race.
And he's been in the American League for a few years. And
one thing about the Reyes deal is that individually it may benefit him because that ballpark, if he gets those balls in the gap, he's going to fly.
Well, and that's what I think they also said about they're going to keep him for the year, try to get his numbers up a little bit, and maybe trade him in the offseason. Now, with Tulo, it's going to be tough because he spent his whole career with one organization.
Right.
That's when it's tough for someone to get traded. Now, I'm leaving Colorado. I'm going to Toronto. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm back into a pennant race, but you're leaving a lot of friends, a lot of family, an organization that you truly loved. So it's going to be very emotional for him to leave Colorado to come to Canada.
Here's Calabello with one man down.
But you know how friendly we are up here.
Yeah.
Arms will be open. Make him feel at home right away.
I'll tell you, LaTroy Hawkins got a heck of a round of applause walking off. See what happens when he doesn't throw an 8-pitch inning. He throws an 18-pitch inning. Fly ball right center field, playable for Francoeur. Yeah, there are 2 outs. Hey, hats off to what Adam Morgan's been able to accomplish over the last several innings. We talked about how competitive he is, but he has been able to keep the Blue Jays hitters off balance with a variety of pitches. About to throw his 79th pitch. Pitch number 79 should land in Ben Revere's glove. He says he has it. And a very quick inning for Adam Morgan. He's retired 9 straight batters since the double by Russell Martin in the 4th inning. 1-run lead as we go to the 7th here in Toronto. Time now for the Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary here in Toronto, where the Phillies lead at 3-2. They scored 3 in the 5th inning. Cody Ashley has a single double, 2 RBIs. Adam Morgan so far so good. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. He may be done though. I say that only because the Phillies do have bullpen action. Genmar Gomez is warming up in the pen. Devin Travis left tonight's ball game after his leadoff home run. He aggravated a sore shoulder. There's Gomez. So the way the bullpen is going to be structured now, at least we think, is that Garcia will pitch in the 8th inning and Ken Giles will be the closer. There's Darren Ruff to lead it off against Brett Cecil. Cecil, 37th game. He was the closer at one point. Heck, everybody was the closer at one point for the Blue Jays. Which is why a lot of people thought this is where Jonathan Papelbon would wind up.
Well, one thing you're going to get out of Brett Cecil is he loves the off-speed pitch. And I think he has a pretty good fastball. He'll top out at 93. But when he came in the closer's role, he was doing that, throwing a lot of curveballs. He was pitching away from contact, getting in trouble, putting runners on base.
Over to third. Donaldson has it. Ball is hit hard by Ruff. And what a way for Cody Ashley. Cody and his wife Angela are featured in the Phillies Wives Cookbook, From Our Homes to Yours, a collection of Phillies recipes. It benefits Phillies charities. It's on sale now for $19.99 at the Majestic Clubhouse store, Phillies.com, or by calling 877-GO-PHILS. Check swing, foul ball, 0-2. As she strikes out. Another breaking ball. And there are 2 outs. And here's Andres Blanco. Blanco has doubled home run, the go-ahead run. He's also walked tonight, playing shortstop today for Freddie Galvis. Out towards center field, and it's caught out of the air by Pilar. Another easy inning for the Blue Jays relief pitcher. 6 in a row. The shadows of the CN Tower here in Toronto as the Phils and the Blue Jays on a beautiful night. Right here in Toronto. Still twilight as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1, 2, 3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Adam Morgan retired the side in order twice and set down the last 9 batters that he faced, and now it's time for the bullpen to get 9 outs. Gomez 0-2, a 2.23 ERA. Let's see how he reacts to a little bit more of an expanded role. One ball and no strikes. Valencia singled. He's also flied to center. To Major League Scoreboard, the Nationals and the Marlins are facing off in Miami. Marlins lead it 3-1. Game's at the top of the 7th inning. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike. Valencia thought that was ball 4. Rob Drake has been pretty specific with the strike zone tonight.
He has, and he's a very good umpire. And this pitch right here is what a lot of right-handers give up on. They think it's going to be outside. It's a backdoor two-seamer right across the knees. Lots of plate.
Well, it's part of the reason why Gomez has been so effective, is because he's been able to run that pitch back over the outside part of the plate. By the way, if that Marlins score holds up and then the Mets score holds up, Mets will just be a game out. Hit sharply to third. Franco stays down on it. Tomorrow night at 5, we are talking Phillies. Their on-field play since the All-Star break and the off-the-field decisions with the pending trade deadline, including the Jonathan Papelbon trade to the Washington Nationals. We'll talk about all that. Watch Philly Sports Talk on Comcast Sportsnet. Today, it was Jim Salisbury who was leading off the 5 o'clock hour on Philly Sports Talk, discussing the possibility of trades. At that point, we had heard rumblings that Pap was not here in Toronto, that he was heading elsewhere. In the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Blanco's got to hurry with this one. Throws on the run. Boy, a strong short arm throw for the second out.
These type of plays right here, White he doesn't panic. Galvis, they do not panic. It's amazing. Franco's clapping, telling him it's your ball, go ahead. But it's just the amount of time that ball hits the glove and then the bare hand, how quick they get to their glove.
2 outs. There's Goins, who takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Throw him a sinker, or changeup, I should say. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. That also is a reason why he's been successful, because that pitch has the same trajectory of his sinker.
Yep.
Just about 8 miles an hour difference. Throws him another changeup, 1 and 2.
It's amazing the amount how it moves. And Gomez is on the first base side. That's a quick pitch right there.
And he'll field it. Throws to first in time. 3 straight groundouts. And that is 12 in a row retired by Phillies pitching. 7 in the books here in Toronto. Phils lead the Blue Jays by 1. You visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Buy McDonald's. Double the loving at McDonald's with a double cheeseburger and small fry for just $2.50. McDonald's, loving it. And buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com today. Phillies lead at 3-2. They scored all 3 runs in the 5th inning. Time now for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. This guy's been pretty good out shortstop for them, Matt.
He has. It's coming all the way back in the 2nd inning. Ball in the dirt. Russell Martin gets up and throws a backhand. He goes nice quick turn to get Darren Ruff in the 2nd inning. Very nice play right there. That's your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Here's Liam Hendricks in his 34th game, the right-hander, 40 strikeouts and 42 in the 3rd. They'll face Cameron Rupp and then Cesar Hernandez. Adam Morgan went 6 innings tonight. Last 3 starters, Hamels 9, Aaron Nola 7 2/3, and Adam Morgan 6. A little late on that fastball.
Yeah, Liam Hendricks got a very nice, easy delivery. Fastball 96, tops out. Slider change and a curveball. Very easy delivery. Ball gets on you very quick.
And Rupp strikes out. I guess he was thinking of something else. Well, this is what Adam Morgan did here tonight. kept them off balance enough to get some double play balls, a lot of ground outs, a lot of flyouts.
Well, this is the first inning after giving up a leadoff home run. Does a nice job getting a weak ground ball from Batista for a double play. He settled in, started throwing a nice slider there to Encarnacion. And I thought he just felt more comfortable as he was going. Early in the game, he was up in the zone, but made some very good pitches when he needed to.
Cesar fouls it away. And it's 0-1.
And if I look back for his start tonight, the fourth inning is the one that stands out with Russell Martin getting the leadoff double and not allowing him to score. Does a nice job getting a line drive to center. Weak fly ball to first and a line drive to left field.
Yeah, tonight the Jays are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. In that inning, they were 0 for 3. Oh, 2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2.
And we talked about it in Chicago about the momentum switch. You know, they have a leadoff double, they do not score. Then all of a sudden you come out in the fifth inning. Ryan Howard hits a swinging bunt off his knee down the first baseline. The next thing you know, you got 3 doubles and you got the lead.
Luis Garcia in the bullpen.
By the way, hats off for Ryan for knowing that hit his leg and knowing it was going to be a knock.
Set up the entire inning. Another strikeout. Went after a high fastball. And there are 2 outs. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, Tom, for the Major League Notebook brought to you by St. Joseph's University. And how about this story? The Mets' Henry Mejia has been suspended 162 games for testing positive again for the second time this year for PEDs. Of course, just came off of that suspension list after being suspended for the first 80 games of the season. Mets front office is calling the news quite shocking. It could very well spell the end of his career. And the Royals, well, they are serious about being in contention. They made another deal today, trading for Ben Zobrist, the utility man from the Oakland A's, saying that he's going to play a lot of left field until Alex Gordon is healthy and back with the Royals, but then they can plug him into right field, second base, third base as well. So Ben Zobrist is moving from the Oakland A's to the Kansas City Royals, who are certainly making a push to make it back to the postseason and again to another World Series as they did a year ago. I think that's a pretty good trade for those guys.
It's an excellent trade. You know, the Cueto deal solidified their pitching, and this just gives them depth and a guy that, you know, has played in some good games over his years. The fact that he's a utility guy also, that would help anybody. They're in town. They're coming to Toronto this weekend. 4-game series with the Royals and the Blue Jays. Cueto pitches, Volquez pitches.
And Tom, what about that Mejia story? It is hard to believe, testing positive for the exact same PED that he tested for before the season started this time around.
You know, you hate to say it with a lot of these guys, but it's just, well,
You could say it.
You just can't be that. You got to be smarter. I mean, on so many levels.
Maybe he didn't realize after you get busted the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't get tested again.
But you think,
I mean, come on. I mean, you get busted, you're out for 80 games, whatever it is. And then you do the same thing.
Got to be smarter.
Use your noggin.
Revere sends one in the air to right center field. It's not deep. It's playable. Pilar makes the catch. Well, the Jays bullpen has done a nice job here tonight in relief of Dubron. 1-2-3, 8th inning. On to the bottom of the 8th. Let's see what Luis Garcia can do against these Blue Jays. Well, the alumni weekend schedule is set. You want to go to Phillies.com and check it out. You'll find out everything that's scheduled for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when the Atlanta Braves come to town. You're going to want to be in your seats early for the Pat Burrell Wall of Fame induction ceremony on Friday night. And then Saturday is alumni night. All the alums will be introduced, including the guy to my right. And then Sunday, 1:35, the Phillies Wall of Fame Fathead, free to all fans. Tickets can be purchased and information can be had by going to Phillies.com. Luis Garcia will try to pick up where Genmar Gomez left off. Ezekiel Carrera's 0 for 1. 0-2.
'97 with location.
The day off.
Unbelievable. Nice slider.
That is a great pitch right there. That slider freezes Ezekiel Carrera. He's questioning Rob Drake. To me, that's kind of embarrassing when you question something like that. I mean, that pitch is right there. 1 out.
Well, perfect slider. Good height. Hits most of the plate. Oh, it crosses over the knees.
I don't even think that went anywhere but over the plate. Yeah. Donaldson takes a fastball. It's 0-1. Well, the shifts that the Phillies have had on have worked very well today. You think Cesar or Michael are going to tell Andres to throw it next time?
I hope so.
I think Michael just did. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser is still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Here's Bautista. He's 0 for 3. Blanco says he has it. Bautista just grabbed his hamstring. Blanco's going to walk it over to first base, or run it over to first base, and then flip it underhand. And the side is retired. That is not a good sign for the Blue Jays. Jose Bautista, as soon as he left the box, grabbed the back of his leg. I think everybody in the dugout is hoping that that's just a cramp. They don't have a deep bench. We'll head to the ninth with the Phils up 1. the Delaware Valley. Must be a rising sophomore or junior with a minimum GPA of 3.0 or a B average. Write an essay sharing how you are contributing to the common good through service. 2 winners will be selected each month. In fact, there will be winners selected for August and September. Go to Phillies.com/scholar for more information. Russell Martin is going to come onto the infields. We'll start with the new changes. The left fielder will be Danny Valencia. Ezekiel Carrera moves from left field over to right fields. And Russell Martin is pirouetting out by the second base bag. He's an infielder by trade who was turned into a catcher. In fact, when he was going to play for the World Baseball Classic team, the Canadian World Baseball Classic team, he wanted to play the infield. He didn't want to play catcher. And Diana Navarro will come on to catch. So all of these changes are because of this right here. Jose Bautista.
He just kind of grabs it right there. Kind of looks like a cramp. I can't speculate. I don't know what it is. Doesn't look very good though.
He was in the dugout in between innings trying to stretch it out, and John Gibbons had already made the change. Now again, the Jays are short because Troy Tulowitzki has not arrived yet from Colorado. He was in Chicago with the Cubs, but apparently he didn't have his passport, so that had to get to him before he headed up here to Toronto.
But the veteran, LaTroy Hawkins is, carries it around with him, knowing at this time of year he could be gone.
Yeah. Here's Hendricks to face Maikel Franco. A 1-2-3 8th inning for Hendricks. Now here in the 9th.
Bullpen for the Jays have done a nice job coming in the 4th inning. They're 4+ after DuBront, I mean, sorry.
They've done a very good job. They've not allowed a hit. 12 in a row retired. Two balls, 2 strikes to Maikel Franco. It'll be Franco, Francoeur, and Howard. Down the right field line, that'll slice out of play. The 3rd pitch he's thrown in this at bat that's kicked up the dirt in front of home plate. Got him. 3rd time tonight Franco has struck out. Jeff Francoeur's coming up. The Orioles are leading the Braves 7-2. Chris Davis has another multi-home run game. He's starting to rack those up recently. 2 homers today, 5 RBIs. Jeff Francoeur, who is 1 for 3. Fouls that one off to the right.
And Chris Davis all of a sudden has 22 home runs. Or going into tonight, he probably has 24 now.
What's his batting average at, Matt?
.240 going into tonight.
All right, well, that's up from where it was when the Phillies played them.
But he also has 60 steaks, not including tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike. This guy must be tough to pick up. There's a lot of late swings by the Phil's hitters.
Well, and I mentioned it when he first came in. He has a very easy delivery, and he's not down in the zone with his fastball. He lives right at the top of the strike zone. So either you're going to do like Frenchie's doing and foul some pitches over to the right. You're hoping he gets a fastball down the zone, so you can just put the barrel to it. Here comes another high fastball.
He fouls it off again. It remains 1-2. Game 2 of this series tomorrow night will feature Jerome Williams against R.A. Dickey. What a pain in the neck R.A. Dickey's been against the Phillies during his career. Swing and a miss. Francoeur strikes out. And that's the 4th strikeout for Hendricks in an inning and 2/3. 5 batters, 4 strikeouts. And Ryan Howard's coming up.
Good location on the slider. Thinking it's a fastball. The hip leaves a little early. That's why Frenchie couldn't reach the slider low and away or low and away.
There is R.A. Dickey. I wonder if the Jays are going to do anything else this week as far as getting a pitcher, getting a starting pitcher.
I think they would like to try to. They've been trying to fill in that spot, that the 5th spotter, well, you know, for what? Since Sanchez got hurt.
Yeah. They wanted Cueto.
Yep.
They didn't get him. They wanted Hamels. Doesn't look like they're going to get him. Changeup, and it's 2-1. That is a rising fastball there. 2-2. Two pitch. Way outside. And a strike 3 call on the inside part of the plate. He just struck out the side. 5 strikeouts against 6 batters. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. The Ken Giles era is about to begin when we return. closer, Jonathan Papelbon, the franchise's all-time saves leader, to the Washington Nationals for young right-hander Nick Pivetta. Papelbon is on his way to D.C. Pivetta, I guess, will be on his way to Reading to play for the Titans. And because of that, Ken Giles will take over as the closer now and for the foreseeable future. He'll get the opportunity first. He has one career save, and he's trying to come on to secure a one-run victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. A 1.85 ERA. The 3 blown saves, well, those are games that he gave back the lead in the 7th or 8th inning. Nothing occurred in the 9th inning. Giles has said in recent weeks, when asked about the opportunity to close, he said that he feels he's ready. I think everybody that's watched him feels like he's ready. If he's not, everybody will find out. 69 strikeouts. We're averaging a strikeout per inning pitched. He'll face Encarnacion. And a fastball in there. It's 0-1. Encarnacion is 1 for 3. Oh, 2. That last fastball was at 98 miles an hour for Giles. It's been his slider, though, in the last couple of years that's been an impressive pitch. Throws it there, and it's 1-2.
You wouldn't think as a pitcher that it would be that big of a difference from pitching the 8th inning compared to the 9th inning. Usually you come in the 8th inning, you got to lead by 1 or 2. You know, same thing as when you're closing the game.
I guess that's the way you have to look at it if you are a closer. And I heard it explained probably the best by Dan Plesac when he was a closer. Plesac said the biggest difference is that when you come out of the bullpen doors and you shut them, they're not opening again. You know, if it's the 8th inning, they're going to open again.
Good point.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And he tries the slider again. It's 2-2. The 24-year-old Kenny Giles. Phillies drafted in the 7th round in 2011 out of Yavapai College. There will be issues like this at times where he does run some deep counts. Yeah, then again, what closer at times doesn't? That's 100 miles an hour right there. You could sense the adrenaline rush. To left field. A broken bat, tying runners aboard. Here in the 9th inning, it's the first hit allowed by Phillies pitching since the 4th. And a pinch runner for Encarnacion. Drew Hutchinson is coming in to pinch run. Former Philly Marlin Anderson will talk about tonight's ball game on Phillies post-game live. He'll also talk about the trade of Jonathan Papelbon to the Washington Nationals. All that is coming up next. Pure Auto Insurance presents Phillies post-game live. All right, so you have a pitcher running. So a guy that's not used to being on the base paths. Calabello's up. He's 0 for 3. Late on a fastball, it's 0-1.
It was kind of interesting that you'd bring a pinch runner in for a guy at first base. You'd think you'd wait till he gets to second base. And the outfielders are playing extremely deep.
And their bench is done, you know, because if we go to the 10th inning, Smoke will come in to play first, and that depletes their bench. Center field. Revere was playing out there. Hutchinson goes back to first. One away. Well, let's hope we're at the 11th at bat. Martin today is 2 for 3, a single and a double. He's a guy that can shorten up and shoot it the other way with the best of them.
I think that's why you're seeing the slider back-to-back pitches. Shows the respect that Russell Martin has, being able to hit a fastball very well.
Might go back there again. 0-2 pitch. Fastball hit in the air to right field. Francoeur's going back. He's got a beat on it. Makes the catch. 2 outs. So 2 outs, and here is Danny Valencia. Last year, Giles finished 11 games. This year, he has finished 6. He is 1 out away from notching his first save of the season, and only the second one of his career. Valencia is 1 for 3. Fouls it back. It's 0-1. Boy, they are aggressive.
If you tell me one team in the American League East that's not aggressive on a fastball,
slider, and it's in there. 1-2. Better get that down.
yes.
One ball, 2 strikes. Phillies have won the first 3 games of this road trip. And a line drive, one hopper out to shortstop. Blanco's got it, goes to second in time, and Ken Giles records his first save of 2015 as the Phils come from behind and defeat the Blue Jays by a final of 3-2. Cody Ashe, Andres Blanco accounted for the runs with some clutch hitting, and the Phillies bullpen picked up right where Adam Morgan left off to help the Phils to their 4th victory on this road trip and help Ken Giles to his first save of the season. A new era is upon us. Well, this was a very efficient game by Pete Maccannon's team. You know, early on, it almost looked like they had some jitters for some reason.